With this video, I wanted to answer a few questions. So this week, I had a couple questions with my students, and I thought I'd pass them along and answer them here for you. So the first one is, how do you find a good job, especially in a creative field? That is the million-dollar question right now. Where are you going to work, and what are you going to do to get there? So to be honest, there's no guarantee that you're going to work in your dream job as a creative. That's just not going to happen. So it's good to make peace with that right now before you get too far along. Certainly, having a dream job is essential to kind of setting your target and making goals and planning ahead. But assuming that just XYZ is going to get you there may lead to a lot of disappointment. So, what I've been thinking as a strategy is the best you can do for success in our field, whether it's in entertainment or in publishing or design or illustration or art. You really want to have a strategy and focus on your strategy as opposed to focusing on the result. You really can't control the result. You really can't control who's going to hire you and when. But what you can do is strategize and put together a plan that puts you closer to that success than if you hadn't used a strategy. And so, what do mean by that? Number one, I think you need to focus on your skill set. Do as much practice as you can in your chosen field. Learn as much about it as you can. Learn how to use the software, learn the techniques, learn the process, and build that strength in your portfolio by practice. So that's going to help you as you develop your skills. Another part of that is to try to expand your network. Look outside yourself and think, okay, where are the people going that hire what I like to do or what I want to do? Or where are they connecting with one another? And try to join those groups, whether it's online or in person somehow through an association or a group, but try to connect with them. Also, along with that, I've been thinking a lot lately that we may set our target for a big corporate design position, like say Disney or something, and say, I gotta work there. That's been my goal forever. But along the way, I have met and gathered dozens, if not 100 or more local clients. So look closer, and you're going to find probably some job opportunities you didn't expect. You see, those big corporations right now are going through, I think, kind of an identity crisis. They're looking at AI and they're thinking, okay, how can I save money by using AI? That means I can reduce the number of contracted artists and designers I have to have. I can use, these techniques to cut costs and to get by. And they're trying to streamline everything they can, get down to that efficiency. Guess what? Your local business that could hire your services, they don't have those kind of resources. They're not thinking like that. They just want to bring customers to their business. That's where you step in. Your skills, your experience, your style can help them develop their business through good design, through good art and marketing and advertising. So, in other words, what I'm trying to say is you're probably going to find more opportunities closer to you than you realize. And those are the ones you need to start with. Those are the ones that are going to build your experience and help you connect with people around you. Another tip, I think, is when it comes to education, don't worry so much about the degree, worry more about your portfolio. So the more time you spend building your portfolio, the better. I'm a big fan of certificates and associate degrees. Sure, every job out there says they want a bachelor's degree, but bachelor's degree, there are too many of them, right? They don't really identify you as, um, they don't make you special in that sense. You can get a bachelor's degree in just about anything. So the bachelor's degree itself doesn't really say what you can do in our field. So be prepared for that. Get certifications, um, get training, those kinds of things in your specific field that lead to the skill set, not necessarily just a piece of paper. So those are some thoughts on finding a job. Um, I have found that as long as I keep my eyes open and my heart open to opportunity, things happen. And you meet someone You talk about something, you do something, and you just take a leap and you just work on it. That has benefited me more than, let's say, hitting that HR department at Disney trying to get in the door, trying to get in the front door. It's led to a very interesting and, topsy-turvy career, but I would say that it matched my personality and what I know how to do. And I think you can do the same. You'll find your way. So that's my advice on finding a job. Let's see if there's another question I can answer here since we're together. Um, let's see. Should I build a portfolio um, specific to my clients? The question is a little more nuanced than that. Or when is it the right time to talk to clients? In other words, when do I know I'm ready? You're ready now. Don't wait. Yes, you certainly do not want to overpromise something you don't know how to do. That is the worst feeling and the worst situation. I've been in that situation before. There was a time I remember I had a screen printing business and I was taking clients as many as I could find. And someone said, "Well, how about screen printing signs for me? I need all this signage done." Well, I was a garment printer. I did apparel. But I thought, well, geez, I have all this stuff. How much more difficult could it be to do signs? I was totally wrong. That was the worst decision, was trying to jump into doing signage. The ink is different. The process requires a little bit different setup, and I just blew it on the drying time, and I just wasted materials. It was awful. So, yeah, sometimes saying yes can be a problem when you're not quite ready. But if you dial it down a bit and, just have a little more confidence in yourself, yes, you can start working for people freelance anytime. So maybe this relates to the first question about finding a job. Well, yes, finding your job along the way, you may just need to say yes to an opportunity when you may not be quite there, but you're going to grow while you do it. So I say yes, uh, always try to have that positive attitude and confidence that you can figure it out. It's always good to aim just a little bit higher than where you are, and you're going to learn something in the process. So when to start advertising yourself? All the time. Never too early to start. And once you get one under your belt, you're going to say, okay, I can do this. I can deal with the client. I can handle it. And I used to say to my students, to myself really, that anytime I was out of a job, um, I was in business for myself as a freelancer, always. So I'm always a freelancer. I'm always open to opportunities. Of course, when you're busy and you got that day job and you got all these other things going on, you can limit your exposure and you can close your freelance business when you need to. But whenever you're hungry and you need to figure something out, that business is always open. All right, so there is no secret sauce. There is no perfect answer. There, frankly, is no one size fits all. But I'm a big believer in positive energy and stepping up and stepping out, extending yourself a little bit more than you may think that you're capable of, and you'll surprise yourself. But finding those opportunities, being open to them when they present themselves, and you'll find your way. And I'd love to hear about it. So connect with me online, and I'll post another one of these Q&As next week. So if you have questions, post them in the comments, and I'll start making some live response videos. I think this will be fun. All right. Good luck, you guys.